Yo, what's up guys? Today I want to show you a team that totally outplays the Shogun dungeon because yeah, you will see what I mean in a second, but I also want to show you a Shogun calculator that's actually now in my hands and is about to get released in like I can't tell you a release date, but it is on the way. I'm going to show you right now. The guy who actually made the software it did also made this comp right here, and it's totally insane. It's something I never thought of before ever. And yeah, he sent me a link about his comp right here. Like, to be honest, I haven't checked too much around because I saw it like in the game, like how it works out. So in the calculator, of course, everything in here is like on time and stuff like that. And he just literally went for in here, and then he just put what buffs or debuffs the boss needs to have, or whatever you need to have, and then he just clicked all these turns and yeah, selected all those champion, whatever he wanted to be, like unkillable here on my Nullhorn, something like that. And then he went in here, pressed the speeds, like how high he wanted it to be, like from 180 to 300. You can do it like that, and then on the end you have a whole list about speeds which like has all those conditions in it. Like you have the unkillable on turn 7, and you got the taunt on turn whatever and stuff like that. So Shogun is about to happen. Like, this calculator will be released soon, and everybody of you can have it. And it also takes like notice about your stars and the counter, how high it is and stuff like that. So don't worry, it has everything you need to like calculate a good run for you and see the outcome before it actually happens. And it also can simulate like 1,000 runs for you and literally can say you it's 100% or it's not 100%. So at this point we will go back into the game. Let me check on the thingy. Yes, let's go back into the game, because it's always better to see it in the game, like how crazy the software is, to be honest. Like another Emic team, and Emic is like super hard to speed tune. You know how it is. We will take a look in the preset right here. That's the preset for Nullhorn, Emic, Painkeeper, code heart number 1 and code heart number 2. And he told me like one of his goal was like that one of his code hearts has more than 220 speed, so he can actually use that code heart in another team, what he actually calculated and stuff like that. So you kind of see what kind of advantage you can have, because you can just look for like a champion you already have. You think like, oh, this champion has like 250 speed. Maybe I can put him in Shogun if I use him like that. Let's see in the software. Maybe he can give you like different numbers. My code heart is not so important for me. I can just literally change the speed. But maybe my Emic is like set on a certain speed, so I wanted it to be on 250 and the rest goes around it. So the options, they're like impossibly high, to be honest, like super high. And I almost now let's go into the run. So the thing why this is totally outplaying the dungeon is because how can the boss actually increases his counter? Number 1, he can give you the debuff and you weak hit. But we totally outplay it here. That's the insane part, because Nullhorn has the most crit damage. He gets the debuff, but he's unkillable the whole time. And everybody, when every time the boss is about to spread the debuff, which is only on Nullhorn, Emic comes in place, has the taunt, and the boss is just attacking him. So there is actually no debuff spread in this. And that's why I think it's so amazing, because I never thought about like taunt using it in that way. So you actually just never have to think about the debuff. And in this kind of a comp, the only thing that only matters is the boss critting. And he can only get his number up by, I don't know the number right now, but what I'm aiming for is like to say, you gotta have stars on your champion, of course, but in this case, there is like, you cannot go lower on your stars like this comp right here, because there is no debuff cleansing which increases the counter. There is just the crit you have to lower down, and the crit, let me check, is a 5. So He increases every time he goes by 5. So you only have to be on 5 stars per, like, between he goes another attack. So on the end you can just lower your stars so low, like never before. That's the point about it. And on the end you have a super quick run. I want to do another one with you because it's like totally outplaying that dungeon. Super nice. And I do like it. Of course, on the end you need some stars, but that's unavoidable. And yeah, he only can get his stack up by crits. There is no debuff cleansing. If you use the Nullhorn, there is no weak hit at all. So the only thing that actually can threat you is not having enough stars for the lowdown for those crits. You know what I mean? Like when the boss has 5 and you just can go, you have 2 stars on your champions, and yeah, on the end you will go up and up and up. But yeah, it's amazing. I really do like this comp. Another Emic team which just is insane. It's quicker than usual. It has a Painkeeper and an Emic will reset skills. Cold Hearts go faster and everything is just smooth in here. And yeah, the Nullhorn never can die because of Unkillable by himself. Emic cannot die because of Unkillable, and it's just, the combination is insane right here. Maybe we get like, we can swap out something in here later on, but you all get the option to do it in the software later on. It will get released, you all will get it. I cannot say you the date, but at this point I feel happy for everybody because stuff like that will be happen soon. It's amazing. Like, Emic was one of those champions everybody was like, hey, he's super hard to speed tune, and yeah, at this point it is not so hard anymore. To be honest, it is pretty easy. Let me say it like that, it is easy. And on the end you got something like that, super quick. You can just do it like your own way. You can, on the end you can just change your speeds around a little bit on your champion so it fits in another teams of your dragon, ice golem, whatever you have in mind or something. So we will check out those champions and the stats. I always press the wrong one there because I'm kind of used to it now. Let's check out Emic. He is in a, I saw that one stone skin here and I was like, is he in stone skin? Now let's check out the stats because he's not, he doesn't have like specific. I think the only thing that matters in here is actually the speed, and the rest of it just, yeah, maybe you use him somewhere else and you want to pump in HP or something. But it looks for me like the HP, defense and all that does not matter in this comp, like not at all. So only the speed. It is at this point 271. And let's check out those masteries. They're like, well, he does not have masteries. That's even better because if you don't need any, it's even better. You know how it is. You don't have to farm for it. So yes, nice. And let's check out the Cold Heart number 1. And on her, it's just the speed, crit rate 70% plus, and crit damage as high as you can. Like that's kind of it. Like, and another big tip is like, you gotta have your champions, like if you are level 50, for example, it can happen that the boss is actually targeting one of your Cold Hearts because they have like too low HP, and if they have a chance to get one shot, sometimes the boss decides to not go for the enfeebled target and stuff like that. So keep it in mind. So if you go level 60 and you just go for damage, it should be okay, but at some point maybe that is something you have to keep in mind and your run is not going as well as you want. And yeah, then it's maybe that one. So 70% crit rate, 232 not 32, 223 speed, and yeah, a decent amount of crit rate, crit damage I meant. And does he have masteries? Of course, avoid everything that gives you turn meter, and the rest of it you can kind of decide whatever you want. And yes, Nullhorn, he needs to be the guy who has the most crit damage. That is a fact. So I have to say it like that. So he is highly in HP and defense, so he can actually survive the first hit because it's hitting hard. And he also does have the most crit damage, in this case not actually super high, but yeah, that's kind of what you get if you just calculate everything you need, and you don't have to be too high. So on the end you gotta rock 227% crit damage to actually make him your enfeeble target for the first turn, and then it will never get spread. So we got a speed on 173, and yeah, of course go HP and defense, so, and the highest crit damage, so he can actually survive. You gotta keep that in mind, and the crit rate is actually pretty high of the boss, so you gotta keep that in mind. Does he have masteries here? No, he kind of does not, kind of a little bit, so he can survive a little bit more. And yeah, I think that was all about him. Cold Heart number 2. She is 180, and of course the same rules, 70% crit rate plus, and you have to have your crit damage of course lower than your Nullhorn, but of course decently high, so you can actually hit the crit damage cap, not the crit damage, the max HP cap. Masteries on here, it's like, yeah, just avoid the things that gives you turn meter and you should be good. And Painkeeper does not have any masteries, he's on level 50. Keep in mind the stars, I haven't mentioned the stars. We got one on 6-star on the Cold Heart, and we got a 4-star on a Nullhorn, 2-star Cold Heart, and a 5-star Painkeeper. MX does not have any stars, but to be honest, I think you don't need as many as he has right now, so you can actually go lower. I cannot say how low, but keep in mind the only thing that increases the counter of the boss is just the 5 when he crits, so you can work with that. You are smart people. I always meet smart people here, so you actually know what I mean. And Painkeeper, of course, not. The stats, he needs to be like, also in this case he has a plenty HP. Like I said, when you have like a level 50 or so champion in your team, he needs to be like not a one-shot. If your champion is on level 50 but he is not a one-shot, that is still okay. But he need to, if you rock him on level 1 and he's just rank 3, and you put like the exact like numbers in here, you probably will fail, because the Painkeeper will be the target at some point. He will ignore Enfeeble when there's a champion out there if that is a one-shot snack for you, for him. So we got here speed 250, and to be honest, the rest is just HP and defense, and the rest doesn't matter. So masteries, I already think we checked them. Yeah, I showed you the presets, I showed you the stats, and I think this comp is super amazing. My final thoughts about it is like, I probably maybe build it myself because it looks like really awesome, and we got like a couple rares in here. Everything is obtainable if you did, of course, the fusion. It is how it is, but yeah, if you have the fusion, there's another spot in this game where actually Emic has like usage, and he's really great at it, because there's no other champion like that who can actually give you the same purpose in Shogun. Like he can make the boss like target him for that special turn, so you can actually never get the enfeeble debuff spread, and you don't have to cleanse it and stuff like that. You can put on the end Acrisias in here, make the run super faster and stuff, but there's one spot where he actually shines again, and it's like making me happy because I did the fusion and I want actually to do him, and the Iron Twin version is like super nice too, so he got finally some spots in the game. And to be honest, the best things that I saw coming around with Emic was just, yeah, coming from the software, just having a cool idea, and then the software gives you the numbers, and on the end we got like super cool teams. And yeah, that's another great point about the software. And yeah, I think that was all about like my last thoughts, and yeah, I hope I see you in the next video, and have a nice day.